Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at Falcon, his damage output pre-buff and now post-buff. Now I do know for a fact that Falcon's perfect matchup is not the Winter Soldier, especially after the buff. He is kind of designed a lot more against champions that do evade frequently, and I will showcase that as well as I'm going to try and do kind of like more comprehensive Falcon breakdown and what do I think about the champion. But before we understand what do we have on our hands right now and what has the change been, obviously we need some sort of starting point. And the starting point when it comes to Falcon was quite miserably low. I could show the entire fight, but here as you can see, it's not going really fast at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward it a bit. You can see that we get to 140, 150, 170 hits. So 170 hits when the soldier's still at 68% health. In addition to that, I'm actually running a synergy that does kind of help him quite a bit. That's the Black Widow one, where you can gain Black Widow's insight, and if you do, then you gain a cruelty buff once you finish a combo. And I have Nick Fury that boosts his attack even further as he's a hero champion. So I'm running him fully, pretty much synergized more or less. Now I do not have any boosts or suicide masteries, and it's important to note that I will be using exactly the same mastery setup, same synergy team, pre and post kind of like videos. But yeah, I think it's high time we fast forward to end. I did take a pause there because I honestly got bored. And the video in its entirety here lasts 9 minutes. We can watch the last 12%, I suppose. But yeah, it's 9 minutes for a Winter Soldier fight, which is very, very slow. I would bet that it's probably one of the slower times in a game for a fully leveled up 6-star rank 1 champion that's not in a class disadvantage. And we can see that it's 450 hits. And even though the hit count is kind of slightly inflated with that level 1 being a multi-hit, I still found it to be the faster way, because the level 2, if it crit, the second part of it at best crit for like 7k something, and at worst, well, it was a lot worse. I think it was a 2k non-crit. So here we go, Winter Soldier goes down, 489 hits. It took 9 minutes of grinding down. So that was Falcon's performance initially. Now, this is after buff. I just installed the update. That was literally the first two things that I did, and last two things, as in like did a fight with Falcon and Gambit, updated, did a fight with Gambit and Falcon. And now I can see that some animations have changed, which is kind of cool. And that lock on, and as in you like, yeah, those animations definitely look a lot cooler, and the timers look cooler. I do make a mistake here early on. I did think I am blocking, but I wasn't. But overall, we definitely could see a quite significant damage increase initially whilst the lock-on was active. And that's going to be like one of the main things, because previously Falcon didn't really gain any damage benefit from having that lock-on active. Now he does quite significant damage. And an additional thing is you quite religiously only want to use special attacks when you have this lock-on the opponent. So I think at this point I'm already going to try and go to level 3. Unfortunately, I didn't quite make it in time, so I'm going to have to wait for the cooldown timer to expire. And the cooldown timer, it does take a while for it to expire, but it felt relatively quick within the fight, so I was relatively satisfied with that. It felt kind of fluid. You had your timeout, but the timeout didn't seem kind of like as severe. And for majority of the fight, you do have this lock-on active. Now I dropped to level 3, and level 3 comes with that vulnerability debuff, which kind of enhances your damage even further, and you are doing definitely a lot more damage. Unfortunately, still not kind of top tier damage I guess you'd want from a champion like that. And here I think, from as far as we have gotten in the fight, I can already quite easily conclude that in a standard matchup, Falcon will not be kind of like super high damage dealing champion. Here we had lock on active, 2 cruelty buffs, and we crit for 9k. Now, I do believe that you can get some significantly higher yellow numbers if you bring him in those evade matchups, or where you prevent evade and stack those permanent cruelties, and I will definitely test that out. But on your kind of like standard matchup where, well, most of the opponents don't evade by default, and yeah, the damage is definitely better. The fight is significantly quicker as well. I think the fight duration has shortened from 9 minutes to about 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna tell you guys toward the end. But at the same time, it's not quite the level of damage you'd expect from a 2020 champion in a flat out straightforward fight where you can debuff the opponent, where you can parry the opponent, where you don't have any kind of like attack diminishing nodes or class disadvantage. Damage definitely isn't like awful, but in a flat out straight fight, you definitely don't want to bring in Falcon. Falcon isn't going to be your casual questing champion. Like he's not going to be Corvus Ghost, Omega Red, or whoever else you use for like randomly blitzing through questing lanes. I know Cosmic Ghost Rider, Sunspot, Medusa, or whoever. He's just not there. He's better. He's definitely better. He's not quite up there with the best. Obviously, when you do rank him higher, past rank 1, then you should see better results. But still, objectively, comparing to what this game has to offer, he will not be your questing champion. And now the question of Falcon's usability, of his importance, will largely depend on his versatility. Is he a utility champion that you can see yourself using in many different scenarios thanks to his lock-on ability? I think that is kind of like one potential saving grace, because if that's not true either, and if he only can perform well enough to be worth using in matchups where you can do everything and opponents do evade frequently on your schedule, then I don't have too much hope for the guy. I'm not ready to write him down quite yet. I do think that there are definitely plenty of actual scenarios to be researched, to take him in Act 6, to take him in perhaps in some variant content, maybe Act 5, just basically see how usable he seems in the rest of the content. Unfortunately, when it comes to the damage department, in matchup such as this, we can see that it's definitely a lot better. It's definitely huge improvement. Previously, we were nearly at 500 hits, and now I'm going to drop the level 3. The fight is coming to an end, and we're going to see what is going to be the final tally, because I did lose combo quite early on, so we're going to have to check the end fight screen. And yeah, it's and I don't know, I did expect more, especially from that level 2. That level 2 still only crit for like 9k with lock on active. I don't know, perhaps it's like bugged, because as we can see here, I got to 6k mediums, and it's hard to believe that the intended damage output for a level 2 is a 9k crit. I hope that's bugged. If it's not bugged, then I'm definitely not impressed there. We are finishing off the fight here, 319 hits, so it's significantly lower. It's significantly less, so not quite half, but solid, 70% higher damage output. Unfortunately, 70% higher damage output for a champion that was one of the weakest damage dealers in the game is just not quite up there, not quite good enough. But as I said, this isn't a total review of Falcon's abilities, isn't total kind of like evaluation of the champion. I did want to release kind of like an early on video just specifically focusing on a damage output in a standard fight in exactly the same conditions, pre and post buff. And yeah, before I do finish the video, I do have to say that I am trying to push my channel to 30,000 subscribers. The growth in the last day or so has actually been absolutely incredible, so huge thank you to all of you. I am currently 900 subscribers short. As soon as we do hit 30k subscribers, I will be doing a Colossus 4-star Labyrinth of Legends run fully with Professor X and 4 Cerebro charges, Colossus being the horseman, And we're going to see how many revives it takes for 4-star Colossus to blitz through Labyrinth of Legends. With all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and if you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya!